Yeah. Hey, do you think I should stop?
Okay, I think we are live now.
All right. We are
Um,
live.
just double checking on that.
Yeah, I got my live. Says we're good.
Do you want to just introduce yourself then?
Yes, I will introduce myself. My name is Eric Andrade. I'm a film composer, and I'll be working on the Super Academy web series. And I'm very excited to be here with a long time, no, I wouldn't say a long time friend, but a good acquaintance, Ben Lifson.
Cool. Yeah, and we are officially live, so yeah, everything's working.
Wait,
So what exactly do you your role in being a film composer?
a role. My role in being a film composer. Well, it depends. Most of the time. I mean, sometimes. It's so hard to explain. Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's too big of a question
My
then. I
my
can.
role as a film composer is to heighten the drama of the film, whether it's comedic, action,
Mhm.
drama, or sci-fi, or it's my goal to heighten the drama of whatever kind of drama it is of the film. That is my goal, and sometimes a movie will require a lot of music to heighten the drama. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it just needs a little bit, and it just kind of varies and different types of movies and things like that. So,
So, um, what exactly would that mean? I guess, like, what would you like? Are there certain things that you can do to heighten a thing, like heighten drama or heighten comedy or whatever?
let's see. It's a very tough question.
Sorry, I'm just starting right away with all the big ones. So,
Going for the kill. Going for the kill. Let's see. How to heighten drama. It's so hard to explain because well, it depends on what kind of movie it is. Let's just take comedy like this is like your web series is going to be. It's going to be a comedy with a little bit of action from what the first short film is comedy. It just man, that's a tough question.
okay, well,
How to
we
heighten the
can,
drama with music. Let's see.
I can, we can move on if you don't think.
Well, it kind of depends. Sometimes you might want to give a big comedic score but sometimes I don't think that's a very good idea, especially with something like this. So in this case, in the Super Academy case, I think I think something like a light touch to the score, but something with a big touch. So something minimal, but it packs a lot of punch.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to explain through words.
Okay,
Something that packs a lot of punch, but is minimal at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain.
yeah, no, that's okay. So, let's probably maybe go back a bit.
Okay.
So, uh, what kind of stuff have you done before?
The kind of work I've done. Well, I've scored tons of Twin Cities, um, tons of Twin Cities short, as Ben probably knows, and is probably a lot of the people who are working on this web series probably know. As everyone knows, Kyle Decker is the executive producer or producer on the show.
I mean, not most people. Not well, we know that, but
Yeah, oh yeah. So Kyle Decker is the producer on the show, and Jacob Gulliver is writing it, and I've worked with them on their current web series, Fang and Talon.
Mhm.
So I've worked on that, and I've just worked on a bunch of other different projects. I've worked for a company in Minneapolis called Gavarek Interactive, and they do games for iPads and stuff. And I've done some music for them, and I've done some music for School Space Media, which is an animation company based in St. Paul. And I've also done work for Outdoor Nation. They have a place in St. Paul, I believe. So I've done music for various different people, plus a ton of different Twin Cities directors.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Cool. Uh, So, what do you do, I guess, to make this music?
Ooh, let's see. Well, I have a program called Logic, and Logic is basically a program that you write music in, and you sort of build tracks, and you add different samples and things like that. So it's kind of hard to show without the actual setup, but it's basically a program you write music in,
Okay.
and you can plug your keyboard into it, and you can play all the notes into it and everything, and you can just create scores. And the way that sort of works is you bring your film into Logic,
Hmm.
and you time it up using using the measures and using all the timing things that you have on it. So you kind of just score through the timing of the film. So it allows you to line everything up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, can you, I guess, maybe even give like a little sample of either some of your work or just playing an instrument or
Okay.
like do you usually do you usually play your, if you're doing a live score, do you usually play it yourself or do you give it to people
Yeah.
to do or
Yeah, I usually play a lot of things myself, whether it be like live guitar or just doing random vocal things into my microphone. Just
Mhm.
let me bring up a blank project.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
Just bring out a few empty instruments. So I'll just bring up like a random
mhm.
synthesized sound, or let's see if you can hear that.
Yeah.
So basically what it does is it transfers sounds into tracks, and you can basically play the sounds. And when you hit record, you can put the click on it. It'll keep time for you and everything. It's like a big grid, and it keeps everything in time, and you could see everything in sections. And then you could just play the notes like, and then you could switch instruments. Like you can come to basement bass. So there's all different kinds of instruments, and there's all different all different kinds, and then you can plug other sounds through it, and then I have a mic, and you can play guitar and everything. So there's just a bunch of different sounds, and that's sort of how you make the score.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just gonna check to see if we. So if any viewers, I guess, have any questions, also we're doing it live. So um, if there are any, just leave a comment and see if. No. So I guess not. So
Dang.
so what kind of instruments can you play?
Um. Dang it. Let me take down these instruments. Okay, there you go. What instruments do I play? I can play guitar, violin, and piano. Those are my main three.
Okay.
I don't really play piano. I just kind of use it as a tool to make the scores and stuff. It's more of a tool, but I can actually play guitar and piano. No, I
Can
can
you
actually play guitar, violin, and guitar.
can you prove it? Like right now?
uh, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I also have a banjo, but I don't really play the banjo. I just have it. Let's see. Uh, Here, I'll plug it in real quick. I'll plug in my guitar. 1 second.
Okay.
I shall do it. All right. Let's make some music.
Okay.
There's my electric guitar. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that well?
Yeah.
So I can play a little bit. I can do some rock stuff.
Can you, if you play that, does it go directly into Logic then?
No, that's just going through my amp. I
Okay.
can do that. That was just through my amp.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, so in Logic you also have a ton of different. You can also build like different guitar amps, different bass amps. So I can just plug it straight through Logic, and I can get all these different guitar sounds and stuff.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So Logic is it's pretty universal. So you can do audio through it. You can do synth stuff through it. So which is very convenient.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, all right. Great. So, like, how, I guess, accurate does Logic sounds? Like, does it sound pretty MIDI, or do you have and use it just as reference, or?
No. It depends on what sounds I'm using from Logic. If I'm using the synthesizers, if I'm using like synth sounds like electronic, it's great. A lot of people don't like Logic synth sounds, but I love them. If you just get into them and you start digging in and get really specific, they're great. But if you're going to be doing orchestral music or any type of like big drums, you don't want to use Logic because it's just going to sound abysmal. It's going to be terrible. It's just going to sound horrible. So I use a few different sample libraries from East West. I use Storm Drum. I use Raw. I use Voices of Passion. I use East West Symphony Orchestra and a couple more. I can't remember the names, but and Gold pianos. And that's what I use.
Okay. How long
But
is it?
Logic is really good for synth drums and like electronic drums and a bunch of different like synth sounds. It's good for that kind of stuff, but not for orchestral stuff. It's very it's not made for that.
All right. How long does it, I guess, take to like just score something really basic? Like, do you just sort of improvise it, or I mean, can you just sort of improvise it, or do
That's
you have to?
that varies. Sometimes um you see with what I did with I'll just use Fang and Talon as an example
Mhm.
because it's a Twin Cities thing and it's kind of tough. I actually wrote the Fang and Talon theme song uh, prior to the show, not before the show, but when they were editing the show, and I hadn't really seen anything. That was when I wrote the Fang and Talon theme song. Yeah, and that was a really hard song to write. I had a really hard time. I think it took me 2 weeks, and then like it was literally up until like the 13th day, and then on the 13th and 14th day, it was done.
Mhm.
So basically, I didn't get like I started writing it like the week and a half previous, but I didn't really get the ideas until like the last 3 or 4 days. So so sometimes I write the music previously, but when I'm actually scoring the movie, sometimes I just look at the film, I look at the pacing or what's happening with the characters, and then depending on how fast the editing is, like sometimes if it's a fast edit, then I'll score something like maybe quick or maybe that's a little bit more fast paced or if the edits are a bit slower then you might want to do something that's like spread out or something just like slower paced. It just varies. Sometimes that's not usually the case. I mean you can have fast edits and do like slow music over it and it can be very effective, but it just all really depends on what the characters are going through, in my opinion.
Okay. Um. So, how would you be able? Like, what's the fastest, I guess, you've been able to do a song?
Oh man, let's see. Sometimes things come really easily and they go really quick. So I would say the quickest I've scored something. Sometimes things don't need a lot of music, and sometimes you just kind of it just kind of clicks with you and you say, "Oh, this is what this scene needs."
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes it can only take like an hour to depending on how long the queue is how long how long the movie is and things like that, or how much music it needs. It kind of just varies. So
Mhm.
I mean, there's times when all you need is a minute of music and it can maybe take like an hour and a half or two, which would be like pretty convenient. But sometimes there's a 2 minute scene and like an animation that could completely just take your life away. It could just be a really tough. It could just be a really tough moment.
Mhm.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot when I get like a 2 minute scene. I usually like to think about it a lot, especially if it's like ambiguous to emotion or something, and it's all varies. It's really hard to explain.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that made sense.
no, that made perfect sense.
All right, sweet. Well, then I'm on
Would
track.
would you be able to? Well, and speaking of doing it quickly, do you think you'd be able to make something right now?
Let's see. Like just write a little ditty.
Yeah, just make a little ditty.
Just write a little ditty.
Yeah, a
Let's see.
Super Academy ditty.
A Super Academy, a ditty for Super Academy.
Sure, why not?
Let's see. Do you think it should be more comedic?
uh,
I think it should be a comedic, sort of maybe a little electronic.
mhm.
Like I'm thinking almost like not a video game, but towards that
Okay. Yeah.
towards that spectrum.
Yeah. No. That. All
Um,
right.
I'm on the spot. Let's see if I can do it.
All right.
On the spot. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This might be horrible, so please don't judge me on this. Please, viewers of Super Academy, do not judge my abilities to write music based in a 5 minute period. So let's see. I'm gonna bring out a little electronic drum set,
Okay.
and I don't know if you can hear that. Well, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna think of a little drum beat, and then I'm gonna put it down and loop it and see what goes on.
Okay.
How's that?
That's good beat.
Okay, let's do that beat. Let's get down. Okay. Let's see. Let's establish the tempo. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know how this decides who cuts back and forth between.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna establish the tempo real quick. So we're gonna do 120 BPM, 120 beats per minute, and we're gonna 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me do some quick editing, and then I'll get this thing looping, and I'll write a little melody over it. Okay. How are things on that end, Ben?
It looks like. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Get this thing going. All right.
Yeah, things are fine.
All right, cool. And you can hear everything good?
Yep.
All right,
Well,
sweet.
can hear everything well.
Well, you know what I mean. Good for Google Plus standards or Google Hangout standards. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna loop this a few times just so we make sure we have enough time to write a little melody over it, so I can think about it a little bit. Never done this before. This is the pressure's on,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone is judging me. There's one thing that everyone needs to learn about being a composer is that you get judged every note, which is very very it's like being judged like a director. You're judged every single second
Mm-hmm.
by the viewers. Let's see.
Also, please excuse my potentially dull expressions that have been cutting back and forth while I was just checking to see if it was making sure it was working. So.
Now I'm going to add a little bass. Let's see. Think of a little chord progression for the bass. Let's see what we got here. So we got our little drum beat. I'll just show you guys that real quick. Sound good?
Uh-huh.
You like that?
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
It's groovy, man. We're getting down. Let's see what we got. Let's get a little chord progression going. Okay, let's do that. It's a nice little simple one. So, okay, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let me do some editing. Not sure if you can hear the bass or if you can hear the tone too well, but we'll give it a shot. And this is gonna be an E minor. Let me edit this real quick. Now I'm thinking we can do a loop. We'll loop it 25 times. Just so we
That's a lot.
Yeah, just so we have enough room so we don't have to run out of space and we just put a loop on it, but I want to be able to play it back and everything. Okay, now let's see what we got here. How'd that sound?
That sounds nice.
Oh yeah, it's groovy, man. Alright, now I'm gonna find sort of a melodic instrument that we can make the melody with. Maybe it doesn't have to be a melody. Maybe it could just be a collage of sounds, sort of a mixture of sounds, and you can make a cool song with it. But for this purpose, we'll do a melody because a collage of sounds will take too long.
Okay.
Okay, so let's find an instrument. All right. We are underway with this new song for the Super Academy. Let's see what this is. So I'm just checking out some different sounds. That's a little bad. We can do something like that.
Cool.
Nah, I'm gonna try and find something we can do chords with.
All right.
But, Actually, no, we won't do that. We're gonna do something. Take all these crazy effects off it. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Now I gotta think of a melody.
I want to emphasize that we did no planning before this, so this is all on the spot.
There is no planning. When I said this was on the dime, this is on the dime, you guys. This is what we like to call street composing. Street composing. Not really, but let's see. Trying to think of like a little spy thing I can do. Since it's superhero related, let's see. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a shot, and then I'm gonna edit it out and see what it's like, because I am not a good keyboard player. So
You're fine.
let's see what we got. Okay, now let me edit this out. Make sure it's all good. Here we go. All right. Okay. All right. We're just editing. Sorry for the silence.
No, that's okay. I'm just dancing to it. So.
All right. Well, you can keep dancing if you want. I can't see you dance because I have the stuff up, but
Right. Well, I can't dance right now because there's nothing there.
okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Got it. So I made up a little spy theme with 3 instruments,
All right.
which would not be acceptable to most people, but for these circumstances, this is what we have for the web series
All right.
Academy theme song.
Cool.
Live stream, live at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna do a little layering thing. So first the drums are gonna come in,
Mhm.
and then the bass is gonna come in, and then the synth melody on top is gonna come in, and here we go, the world premiere of how long did it take to do this? Maybe 10 minutes
I think so. Yeah.
on the spot, on pressure with the director in front of me.
Mhm.
Yeah, unheard of. This is
Several
unheard
states
of.
away, but yeah.
Several states how many states? What? 4 or 5 states away. This is unheard of. So break out those record books, you guys. Here we go. Oh shoot, that was a fail. I gotta do that. There we go. Here we go, everybody. The world
All right.
premiere of Super Academy song, 5 states away, done in under what? 15 minutes.
Yeah.
World premiere. World premiere. Here we go. Ah, shoot. I deleted too many. Hold on.
Oh.
Almost the world premiere. Almost there. Bear with me. Pressure's on. Okay, here we go. World premiere. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Here comes the melody. Here we go. We'll let it play one more time. Here we go. Gonna let it end right here. There you go.
Awesome.
World premiere. Under pressure with the director in front of me.
Well, no, well, you did very well under those circumstances.
Yeah, three instruments. That's all you need to make music.
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't need a whole bunch of stuff. You
you
know,
just need
just
to
you
have
just
a
got inspiration
and
and
heart.
three instruments and a few Logic instruments, and you're set to go.
All right. Uh, we have a question from Grievous Apprentice 15.
Oh
If
man,
we like waffles,
what?
do you like waffles?
Black waffles. Everyone loves waffles, man. I love waffles.
Yeah,
Who asked that?
yeah, I guess.
Who
So
asked that? Wait, what was his YouTube name?
Grievous Apprentice 15. So,
Grievous Apprentice 15. Okay.
so yes, both of us do like waffles.
I adore waffles. I like maple syrup too, and Jemima baby all the way.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Any other questions?
uh, I'll just give it just a little bit. I mean, obviously it's also a Tuesday night. More people are probably going to see this archived than live. So,
Well,
so in the future, if you guys have questions, you can ask us that.
yes.
Um, all right. Well, a question I had is, um, so do you, hmm, like for this kind of thing, how much of it, I guess, is done while you're doing it in Logic? Like, or do you have it like planned out ahead of time? Like, how do you plan ahead if you don't have the instruments with you? Like, did any of that make
Well,
any sense? Like,
yeah,
can
yeah,
you?
that makes sense. Yeah. Um, you're sort of asking like, do I plan like certain melodies and stuff ahead of time?
Right. And
Is
like,
that
how do you?
do I have pre-planned music that I plan to write for the show?
Oh no, no, I just mean in general. Like, how can you plan it out without even playing instruments for yourself? Like, can you hear it in your head, or do you have to really play it first?
Oh, I can hear it in my head. I mean, it's just I don't know, it kind of varies. Like,
Mhm.
um, no, like I definitely when I watch it, when I like most of the time. Okay, when I sorry, my words are getting all jumbled.
Oh,
I'm
don't.
having a brain fart. Okay, usually what I do is I usually just like to take out a piano
Mhm.
ahead of time. So I'll just take out a piano and I'll literally just watch the movie out of Logic. I won't have anything to do with Logic. I'll just have a piano sound out, and I'll just watch the movie. Usually is what I do, and then I'll just like play behind the movie almost. I'll just like improvise stuff behind the movie, and I'll just like think about things in my head like how fast is the scene moving? Is it action? Is it comedic? Or
Mhm.
things like that, and I literally just play the piano behind the movie sometimes. I'll do that sometimes, and sometimes I'll just have the movie out in Logic and I'll start experimenting with sounds, which is probably the most exciting part about the experience is just taking out all the sounds and doing things like that. But usually that comes second. The first thing I do is, like I said, is take the piano out, and that's usually more like a serious moment for me. It's
Okay.
usually more like trying to find like almost the mood of the film and like how the film breathes almost,
Mhm.
how it's sort of, how the movie where the ups and downs are like what the tone is of the movie with the piano. So it's tough to explain, but hope I
Okay.
did my tried my best. There.
Cool. No, that's fine.
All right. Sweet.
All right. Well, let me just check to see if they got any questions. But otherwise, I think we are done. I mean, do you have any just last minute things you want to say, or just about
Something
music production,
music production.
or I guess, uh, yeah, just anything you want to say?
Let's see. Um, hmm, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Anything I want to leave out? I would say support the web series.
Mhm.
Check out the Kickstarter. Uh, get this thing made. I know there's a lot of people who would enjoy seeing it, so
Mhm.
I know I enjoyed watching it. I know my favorite. character is Dark Cop because he's just a hilarious character.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
just a mean guy, and I like Dark Cop, and just I don't know, just share the Kickstarter, I guess. Just get it out there and do what you can. It doesn't even matter if you post it once. You post it once, people will probably look at it.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know. I enjoyed the web series, and I enjoyed the short film so far. So I'm sure the rest of it will be great. Um, but yeah, it was a pleasure being on the Super Academy live stream from Google Hangout.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's always an honor to be in the presence of Ben Lipson.
From 5 states away, yes.
Yeah, it's always a privilege, the presence of you, and that's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on board,
No
and
problem.
we'll see you all tomorrow.
All right.
See ya.
All right. See you guys.